sun peeks over the horizon. Your excitement builds. The animals in the field start to stir. The forest comes alive with sounds. The sunlight glimmers off the lake, and the mountains start to shed their morning fog. So load up your favorite ammo, grab a few buddies, and head out to make some memories. And tell the rest of the world that you've gone hunting. Gone Hunting is a 1 to 4 player game of family fun where you build a unique hunting ground, scout different animals, buy weapons and gear, and roll dice to hunt. Complete objectives and try not to miss. So let's load up the truck and back Gone Hunting today. See you in the field. And there we are. How's it going?
Great. I was like watching that like it was like this great commercial, and I was like, I'm just like listening. I was like, this is great.
That's just me.
No, not just. Morning, by the way.
How are you?
Good. I'm awake. Last night's the first night I slept in like 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
Usually I wake up at 2, and then I stay completely awake till 6:30, then fall asleep and wake up at 7. So that doesn't usually work out well for me. So I slept till 6. So I was thrilled.
Good. So today, we have with us Miss Corissa from Worthy Chaos, and you have a new book out, don't you?
I do. Actually, I have
What
it right
is
here. This is issue 4 of Redemption, and this is the Supernatural homage cover. And just to show the inside real quick, it's 80-pound glossy pages, and they just look amazing. But yes, this just came out on Kickstarter 9 days ago. And it funded in 6 hours, so that was good.
Mm-hmm.
You're way too small. But
yeah, I'm used to the interview one. Yeah.
Anyway, no one wants to look at me that big. That's all right. But yeah, so it funded in 6 hours, which I was incredibly happy with. I was on Lori's show from Path of the Pale Rider. And then it got to the first stretch goal in 24 hours. And somehow yesterday I had 2 people do the 2 highest tiers. So it skipped over the 3rd stretch goal, and now we're almost to the 4th stretch goal. So yeah, it worked out pretty good. I was excited. I actually thought it was fake, and I kept refreshing it because I was like, there's no way. And then actually it was kind of funny because I was really nervous about one of them because it's the highest tier, and I always get nervous. Last time I had a $400 person, and then they didn't pay. So now I always think that the higher tiers won't pay. So when I looked at it, I realized who it was. I had just I own my own business, and I was just at a client's house, and one of them said, I forgot to tip you or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's okay, because your wife, she can't, she pledges to my comic, so that's the tip right there. And the daughter goes, oh, you have a comic book? And I was like, yeah. I was like, it's supernatural horror. She goes, that's amazing. So I left, and apparently she went and spent $600 for the highest tier, the ketchup, and all this stuff. And I was like, wow, glad I mentioned that, because that's quite a tip right there. So I was excited. So hopefully it all goes through.
Absolutely. So how long have you been doing this?
6 months. Well, okay, in fairness, the comic book is 6 months. I wrote the entire series with my co-writer, Jessica, and that took about 2 years. So we wrote 80 issues, and then we started, it wasn't planned, it was for fun. And I woke up one day and I was looking at art, and I said, you want to make a comic book? And she said, sure. So now I'm converting all of them to scripts. So so issue 4 is released.
Hey.
Yeah.
And you said you have 80 of these done already?
So we have 3 series technically, but all the same characters. It's just, so this is Redemption, and it's about 40 issues. And like I said, more than 80 issues then, but this is 40 issues. Then we have the spin-off of them as a what if, and that has about 35 issues or so. then the prequel has 5 issues so far, and we'll have eventually, when we finish writing them, probably about 40. And then we have 3 issues into series 2. So yeah, there's 80 done, but we still write. Like I wrote 5,000 words the other day, this week, and she wrote about 6 or 7. So yeah, so we're still writing.
Good.
We'd call it the never-ending story if it wasn't taken already.
Yeah. You know what? We're gonna show the video.
Great.
We'll go through the campaign, and then I will ask you the questions that I've been wanting to ask.
Sure.
Cool?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks.
And that's what we do. You'll find out. Look, if you hang out with us long enough, this is we play it formal, but no, we're not.
Okay, good. I don't know formal very well anyway. That's my favorite part. You know, the music you hear is this song that we had written for our comic book. So there's an add-on tier for $5 that is our song. It's 2 files. It's the vocals and the instrumental version. And we had the song written, performed, and everything based on our 2 characters.
Nice.
Yeah. That's our DC cover. Everyone's favorite. It's the DC artist Ken Hun. He worked on Batman and Harley Quinn, and it was colored. And you'll see the black and white one later, and his work is amazing. And then it was colored by the current interior artist for Lady Death Universe, and she is Cece Dela Cruz, and she did a phenomenal job. I mean, it just freaking glows.
So, tell me about this character. You didn't plan on this one?
So,
what it is?
So Anubis, this is a zombified version of him, but Anubis was not in the original story. It was another character that was licensed, and it was for fun. We were our peers, so we didn't have to care, and it was only for issue 2. And then when I was converting it to scripts, I was like, well, I can't use that character. So I was like, what character would kind of be big and intimidating and have a staff and blah blah. And I don't know why Anubis popped in my head. I didn't go researching it. I didn't Google what has a staff. I just was like, oh, Anubis. And I used him. And after I used him in issue 2, not only did I love him so much in it, everyone else loved him. So he has now been added to the entire story. And he's actually a main character in the 2nd series when he joins the fight between heaven and hell. Yeah, he's just become such an intricate part, and now he's he's an unofficial mascot, really. And he even plays fetch in this issue with a hellhound, one of our hellhound leaders, that actually winds up following him around the rest of the series.
This one.
This is Fabio. I have the original art here, and he does a phenomenal job. He also did one for issue 5, and he'll do at least 2 in book 2. And then it was drawn by Fernando, and it just they did such an amazing job together. Their names are completely underneath, but yeah, this just I love getting the original. So I won't even, if I can't buy the original, I won't even have them do it because I don't like anyone else to have the original. But yeah, his is just seeing it in person is just awesome. And this is my interior artist that did that, and this is the homage cover. The car is from Supernatural. It has Dean Winchester's birthday on it, and yeah, he did a phenomenal job. I mean, this is his first paid gig, so he just gets better and better with each issue. But yeah, that's our warning.
Yeah. So this is the same one as you've had throughout the whole series.
So originally I had an issue 1 done by a different artist who wound up stole $3,000 from me, and then I tried to fix it with $2,000, and I had a small Kickstarter with it, and people liked it, and it was all right. But after I got this artist, I just had to redo one. And I know I was throwing away money, but it's just the story is really important to me, and I need the characters to look the way I want them to look. And there's the car. You gotta love the car. But yeah, so this artist actually started issue 2 and did issue 3, and after that I was like, nope, you have to redo one. So he went back and redid 1. So our first major Kickstarter, which was our last one, was 3 issues because of he redid it. So that's why it's issue 4, but technically this should be issue 3 we're doing at least. But
right,
we're crazy and we do everything insane. So that's how that's doing. I mean, issue 5's already started. So he's like, I think he's page 20 in. So
that was going to be one of my questions: was how far in are you?
Well, I don't do Kickstarters until they're done because I don't want people to have to risk it or wait. And I mean, the second the payments go through, I start packing and send them out. So, so we're releasing issue 5 in campaign starting June 20th, and it'll probably be done in like 2 weeks. So we're quick.
Yeah.
And that's my character kicking ass. So. And there's him playing. So now the demon that was above that was flying away. So they were trying to get information out of him. Now that demon controls the hellhounds, and that angel controls Anubis for now with the remote control. However, the way the demon controls the hellhound is, and it'll be explained later, but he beat the leader. And that's why he has a broken horn, you can see there. And you can't see it yet because of the shadow, but he has a scar in his throat, so he can't breathe fire like the other ones can. So because he beat the leader into submission, the other hellhounds follow Draven's father, which is the demon, out of fear. But this one obviously doesn't care for him because he beat him up. So he's just kind of hanging in the background, and now he found Anubis, and he kind of just follows him around. So you'll see him in the background of most of the story, just carrying a stick or following him around, and then eventually he's used as leverage when the remote control no longer works. And that's, I don't know if have you seen Supernatural?
Yes.
This is Lucifer saying good luck for my story, which was very nice of him.
Yeah.
And these are the rewards. We got stickers. We got lots of stickers. So like 4 different stickers. We're sticker happy. Yeah. The big mirror sticker. That one's my favorite. It's 4-inch cute angry Anubis.
Who did this one?
She's an Emmy art illustration, and I gotta put the name under that. She's actually do you know Nightwolf, Robert Matari?
Yeah.
She did his chibi versions too, and I got her through him. And she's working on a Hellhound one now, but we have a Sierra and a Draven one too that's going to be the next campaign. So and that's Ian Chase Nichols, who's the artist from The Tick and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he did the variant for issue 2. And he's doing issue 6 too. He's doing a wraparound vampire cover that they swarm.
There you go. That's the one you were talking about.
Yes.
Very. Oh, wood print.
Yes. This is the wood print, but there's a video there that shows it the best. But it's pretty thick, and it's phenomenal. It's the same size as a cover. But yeah, he did a phenomenal job.
You're going all out with this one. I like this.
That's one of my favorite. Yeah, I'm gonna paint one of them.
See?
I
have a 3D printer too.
That's resin. Like the first one was the plastic as a filament. I don't know how to say it right, but it's the one that the old way is in like the last 2 years. But this is resin, so it's smoother, more detailed, and yeah, I really like the way that turned out. So I'm happy with those. And then we have pillows, and I have the 3-foot ones here. These are mine. But I'll probably eventually have these. Just shipping this would be a nightmare. But I have 2 for me because I'm the psychotic one that wants all the merch. So yeah, all the merch. Like everyone's like, "Oh, you have a ton of merch." It's because my hobby is now tax deductible. So I buy merch for me, and then I offer it to you, and now it's tax deductible. Surprise!
Like every comic you buy now is research.
That's right. And you know what? If I want to go on vacation, these are the size of the pills. They're about a foot. They're actually really nice. I got new ones in today. But now if I ever want to go on vacation, I just do it the same weekend as a con, and now I have a tax deductible vacation. It's amazing. Oh, my pleasure. So he's got his little staff he holds. The staff is 3D. And this is all handmade. It's got stitching and jewels and all that stuff. And she did we have tons of plushies. These will be next campaign, but we have the zombie merman from issue 2 and the skeleton birds from issue 3. And then our rat Anubis that's in the prequel. And this one's not for a while, but he was too cute to not do. And this is the Fur Demon, which is on the panel here that you see behind me. So we love plushies.
Yeah. I like that. I got to see that.
Are you looking at the statue?
Yeah.
I can't see what you see. There you go.
There it is.
So these were all handmade. This one is a lightweight clay. It is still available. There's only one left. That's obviously cute, Angry Anubis. It's a phenomenal job. It's about 8 inches, I think. And the gems are, real gems. Not, they're not clay, but the rest is all done. It's one whole piece, and I have one for myself. So there's 2, but there's only one available. And then the next 2 are unfortunately, that one's a pound of clay, and it'll never be made again. My artist hated it. He said that he hates doing statues of people and to stick with Anubis. So this is the only one. Now these are sold out. This is the tall Anubis. Both sold out yesterday. They're phenomenal. I will probably never make them again because shipping them is going to be fun. Man. Yeah. But I'm excited that people bought them. And again, I have one. So I have one, and now there's 2 out there. So my whole house is Worthy Chaos, and that's the one they just bought. Yeah. It's great.
So give me the TLDR, the story up to now.
Okay. So a lot happens in the first 3 issues. It's, as the name suggests, it's very chaotic. In this one, in issue 1, you see a flashback of them as teenagers when they were just about to run away. So they're separated. She's in the house, and her brother is possessed by a demon and kills her parents, and she walks in on it, and he goes after her. She calls Draven, says, "Do not come back to the house. My brother's trying to kill me." So the first thing he does is go back to the house. She goes out the back window, critically injured. He goes through the front door. He calls her name. She turns around and gets hit by a car who drives her out of the city with no ID, no nothing. And he gets arrested for her murder. And then They're separated for 10 years. Now they each think the other one's dead. He trained as a military assassin, and she trained as a supernatural hunter looking for revenge on her brother, the demon that killed, she thinks, her Draven. Now they're soulmates. They don't know that, but they live through different lives to each other. She's an angel descendant. He's a demon descendant, and their parents, their fathers, are after her because she was created by an angelic weapon that has the power of souls. And if they obtain this from her, then it can tip the scales of the war between heaven and hell. So it's pretty much a survival story of these two characters trying to keep her alive and trying to prevent the war from breaking out completely. So they're doing it for their own selfish reasons, but it does help prevent the war, so it's not completely selfish. But it's pretty much, in a nutshell, Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Supernatural and Silent Hill in the Resident Evil world with the Evil Dead running around. So it's, nothing's going on. For the stretch goals, because we kind of zoomed through, everyone, even if you buy a $5 PDF from mine, which if you do, by the way, all my PDFs come with the black and white version and the color version. So for $5, you get 2 PDFs. But now you also get 16 number 1 awesome issues from pretty much the same genre of these amazing indie comics. I mean, each one is worth way more than $5 as it is, and you get 16. So for $5, you get 18 PDFs. So it's definitely worth it. I mean, there's Lori's in there, The Path of the Pale Rider, Paul Gomez, PTSD, Orphan Bloodline is Rick's. I mean, they're all phenomenal. That each one of them is amazing. Oh, Nightwolf from Rob, which is active live now, issue 7. He's flown past his goal. He's got like 12 grand in there, and all the pages look phenomenal. So yeah, check that out. There's a little plug for him. Share the love.
Yep. I was gonna say, I think I only have like 2 or I have this one here. Of course, I have this one.
Of course.
Well, I have this one, but I don't have the rest.
Final Boy is Sam Carter, and he's actually was my original letterer on my original issue. He's phenomenal. He's probably going to make movies someday. But yeah, so then you need to pledge $5 and get your.
We're gonna have to do this.
That's the Fur Demon stuffed animal that I just showed you, but that's my panel back here. This everyone that gets a physical copy now gets that glossy bookmark, which is right here. So I have them.
So you wanted a bookmark, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So everyone gets a bookmark, and then now this goal wasn't even apparently on the. We just flew past it. So this is the prequel Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So this is everyone gets this. It's the PDF of the issue 1 for the prequel. It will eventually be redone by my artist if he doesn't get tired of me by then. But you get to see how they met. You get to see them go through this cave of that's a giant worm behind them with the teeth. There's giant spiders, and there's Apollo right under. There's a little rat Apollo, which is the plushie that we have. He was sent by the god Apollo, which is the Lord of Rodents, for anyone that doesn't know that. That actually was unintentional and just fit really perfect. So, but yeah. And this is we are, I don't know what the goal is. We're like 200 away, almost 200 and change away from this next goal, which is the trading card for that's the original black and white version. The picture you saw before was we have 2 metal bookmarks. So this is the trading card. So everyone that gets physical items will get this trading card. And it looks phenomenal. I have it right here, and I love it. And then this is the 5th goal, which is the foil or holochrome for the Ian Chase Nichols cover, which is he did amazing. He wants to do my spin-off art in the interior art. Good. It's very tempting to do, though I think it would take him 3 years to do 1 issue. I think it would look amazing.
I was gonna say that would be worth it.
Yeah, well, it's all he hand draws them all. But I don't have to write scripts. He reads it and does it. And I'm like, you're hired just because of that, because I don't. It's all written. So if you don't mind reading it, there it is. So that's the 4th goal. And I don't think I have a 5th one yet, but if it gets close to it, I will do that. And then almost everything is available as an add-on because I just like people want to own them. I don't want them to have to spend money they don't have to get them. So you could buy all back issues, you could buy all variant covers, you could buy all the smaller rewards. And there's a new reward. Yeah, that's new. That's only in the add-ons. That's not in any of the rewards. The plushies are not in any of the rewards this time. And each of the plushies there, the card next to it, it's actually a suede card. So yeah, really? It's made out of suede. I don't know. It's I bought it because it was a little fuzzy and I wanted to try it. But yeah,
where do you get something like that?
It was on Comic World Springs. It was just an option that I don't think anyone's noticed. And I just selected it and I was like, let's see what's a suede card. And it's pretty awesome. So it is an awesome card.
Yeah, I never heard of it. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah. I'll send you one.
Of course, Andrew likes metal cards, so that's why I started getting into the metal cards.
I don't have metal cards, but I have metal bookmarks and a metal print too. And there we have some hoodies and t-shirts. There should be 3 kinds. I'm wearing one of them, my cover. Yeah, that one. Which is I'm not biased or nothing, but it's my favorite cover. So, but yeah. So there's hoodies, there's t-shirts. This is a sweatshirt. This is the song, and those are the lyrics. So if anyone wants to see the lyrics for the song, they're there. Okay. And it was the first draft. He sent me the lyrics, and I was like, "Yeah, done, love it." And then of course the teams,
yeah, thanks and everything.
An amazing team. There's me. There's my co-writer Jessica, my amazing artist Jonas DeCosta, my brother who edits, and and Lori who goes over the script 20,000 times for me. And helps me. I'm dyslexic as it is, and she's awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah, she will definitely let you know if something needs to be.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love Lori. Lori's my mentor, and she said you were her mentor. So you're my mentor in less than 6 degrees of separation.
Like Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
I'm glad to show you. I make the board games and stuff, right?
I just found about this yesterday. You told me, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Here, you might appreciate. Here is one of the cards because in the game, it's a horror board game, and
then I love it already.
You find a certain thing in the woods, and you try to break into its trunk, and 2 people come talking about pie.
Baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. You find the cult. This is the way the image originally was. Of course, Photoshop is nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought you'd appreciate that.
How long did it take you to make a board game?
Oh Lord Jesus! Sometimes about a year. In fact, you know Max at all? Max DeVille.
Yeah, he pledged on my last campaign.
There it is. I just made this one for him.
Nice. Yeah, I just pledged on his Human Hunters, I think is the one.
I think that's the one that's next. Yeah. Then Mary's after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did a game for him. We're gonna launch that near. He said by the start of school.
Yeah.
So then I forget how he said the campaign. It was really funny, but like.
I love Max. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a trip. So you have all of this going.
I have a lot, and
you're telling me you've done 4 issues because you said you don't go on. Because I'm the same way. Don't go to Kickstarter unless you're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've done 4 since October.
Yes.
Yeah.
October 31st, Halloween. That was the first launch, and that wasn't even these. So it wasn't even these 4. These 4 are from December. October was the original issue, so yeah, it's even shorter time than that. So
yeah.
Yes.
So the artist is looking like this all.
Yeah, my poor artist, man, especially
lightning.
For issue 1, because my poor artist was going away for a month, right? And my Kickstarter was going to start, and I said, "Listen, I really, 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 really want to redo issue 1. So, how fast can you do it?" And let me tell you something. He worked morning and night and weekends, and he got that out like 2 days before he had to leave, and it doesn't look rushed at all. He did a phenomenal job. and I gave him a bonus, which he didn't want to take. So that just shows that what a great guy he is. Because I'm like, I'm gonna give you a bonus because you worked. You don't get paid by the hour. So, and he's like, no. And I was like, no. I have to pay you something out of the guilt of you doing this as fast as you did. And then I have to tell you, when he went on vacation, my husband told me not to bother him because he knows I'm talkative. So I did not.
Yeah.
I did not send him one message. And 2 weeks in, he sent me a message saying, I really miss drawing this, and I can't wait till vacation's over. And then from then on, he like counted down. It's like 1 week to go, and I was like, just enjoy your vacation. He's like,
Yeah.
it's addicting, right? He's like, yes, it's a very addicting story. He's really funny though, because he hardly reads ahead. So he'll like send me 2 pages or 3 pages a day, and he's like, are they gonna be okay? Yeah, they'll be okay. We torture our poor characters, but they will eventually be okay. So
it's no fun if you can't if you can't torture them just a bit. No
you know, I let them be together. That should be enough.
That's close enough.
That's close enough. Actually, that's how the spinoff came, to be honest with you. We felt so guilty, like I think around book 3, we felt guilty that they had lost those 10 years together.
Yeah.
So they kept saying, you know, our characters kept saying, we never got to see each other, blah, blah, blah. So we did a what if, which started as a joke. We're like, what if they actually ran away that night and didn't stay for the murder? So that, so they ran away and they got chased away. And now I was like, well, it's going to be boring, right? Because what happens? And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. So there's demons and the demons and angels and monsters are still after her, but she just doesn't know it. She has no supernatural hunting skills. He has no assassin skills. And you have 2 pathetic teenagers on the run, not knowing even how to drive while he steals a car. And yeah, so it turned into this huge thing. We're on the 5th book for it, and we're finishing it up. So yeah, a lot happened. That's awesome.
Yeah, but you're already just about at 300% here.
Almost.
You're doing pretty good. Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Lori said she's about to be eaten by a dinosaur, so she's not going to be able to make it in.
Well, good luck to her.
You know, these things happen.
You need good luck. So.
I'm not sure if that's a Texas thing or if they're playing the RPG. You know,
it could be both for all I know. I have no idea.
Be.
I'm trying to go to Texas next year because everybody I know is in Texas. So so I'm going to stay at Lori's house, and she's going to make me macaroons. So that's reason enough to go right there.
So if you didn't have, how should I word this one? Again, usually I'm not so formal. If you were to do a different genre, what would it be and why?
Well, I am RPing technically in the background another genre. I am a elf, a winter elf, and so I guess it would be a winter elf in like kind of like an RPG. And she's with he's not a wizard. He's I forgot how he named it. He's a magi. He's like a magi, I guess. But anyway, he's got his own powers, and they're doing their own thing. But we just started. We're probably trying to think of how far in we are. We've been doing it for like a year, but we're a lot slower with that story because this is a different writer. My co-writer and I will write constantly, and this person is just someone online that I RP with. I only RP with the 2 now. I used to be all the time. I used to have like 5 pages. I used to be an animal. I RP Claire Redfield from Resident Evil for 15 years. So wow. I had quite a following. I think I was turning into Claire, so it's probably good that I switched. But yeah, so maybe one day I'll release that. It'd probably be more like a manga or something, I think. I like that style. And I used to watch anime a lot. I have like 300 DVDs back there of anime well, back in the day, you couldn't go to Barnes and Nobles, and there was no Amazon didn't even exist. This is aging me quite a bit. I had to go to New York City to Japanese stores where they make fun of you behind your back in Japanese until you hand over a credit card and buy $300 worth of stuff, and then they welcome you back every time you come.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to have to get. I got my anime shipped straight from Japan. I got bootlegs. I'm not supposed to admit that, right? Cross that out. I got bootlegs at the mall. Yeah. So it would probably be the manga style because I do like that.
Yeah, my friend and I, we were watching Evangelion, and we couldn't get the last VHS, if that helps any.
No!
We had to order that from Japan for like 3 times the price, but we did it.
Yeah, so Inuyasha, Fushigi Yugi and Inuyasha were my 2 favorites of all time. I even had, and this is awful, this is how stupid I am. I get stupid loyal to my stuff. I bought a laser disc player so that I could buy it on a laser disc, and that was all I ever owned for that one. was Fushigi Yugi on Laserdisc. For Inuyasha, it came out in Japan on TV, and I had to have the VHS shipped to me by someone in Japan who I don't even know if they understood anything I said. I just said, "Send me Inuyasha," and and then I remember, I'm really aging myself in this entire video, but I remember when DVDs came out because I was at the science fair. And I said, I don't know if I'm going to, whatever. Like, I was like, whatever, what's wrong with tapes? And then I found out that they can do Japanese subtitled, or they can do dubbed. So that is the only reason I switched to DVDs. So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, DVD, HD, all of it. Yeah, it was, they don't realize how quickly and how easily they can get it these days.
They're so spoiled, these kids.
I know.
They had, I mean, especially the manga, man. When manga first came out at like Barnes and Noble, that was all over that.
2.5 months between an episode because you had to order it from some obscure.
It was such a rush though. Going down to, we would travel all the way to New York to the bootlegs and be like, "Did you get the next issue in?" They're like, "Oh, it's not in yet." I was like, "I just traveled 6 hours, man. What the hell?" So yeah, we'd have to take 2 trains to get there, and
Wow.
Yeah, and I love the city, but I only went because I was dating a bigger nerd than me, and I mean, he was brave. He took me to all these like shops underneath these buildings of the Japanese stuff. One was huge, and if I wasn't dyslexic, I'd probably know the name because somebody mentioned it. And I was like, that's the place. It was like 2 stories. They don't care who's there, but the other one, they were wondering what the hell we were doing there and how we found them. And you know what? There wasn't really an internet, so I don't know how we found them. So
Right.
You paid somebody something. But I dressed up. My first character I ever cosplayed at an anime was, do you know Lotus War at all?
No.
Oh, you've got to watch Lotus War. It's Dungeons and Dragons in anime form. So I was Dietlit, which is the elf. Now I have to go watch that when we get off. But
You're welcome.
It was the first anime I ever saw, and I'm dyslexic, as I said like 20,000 times. So at first it was a little, I think I was at a friend's house and they were watching it, and I only noticed it like halfway in. So I hadn't read the beginning of it, so I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. Now I'm not going to bother reading the rest of it. And they let me borrow the tape, and then I was like, I need to buy all of these. And I think it was like 10 VHS tapes, and it was like, which was a lot for a teenager, 160 or something. It was a lot. And I made my dad buy it, telling him, "You'll love it. Just buy them." And I can't remember if he even watched it. So,
but you'll always have it.
Yes. Well, now I have them on DVD, so it's all good.
Yeah. See, it's a win-win.
I'm telling you, look it up. Lotus War. It's awesome.
All right. So you talked about doing the scripts and how the Ninja Turtles artist doesn't need the script, but how is it that you do scripts? There's some that, real detailed, some are bare. How is it you do a script?
So we wrote 11 novels, me and her, for fun, but yeah, it's all right. Five of them are this. They're they're not short novels either. They're an average novel on the shelf is 70 to 90,000 words. Ours are 90 to 133,000 words. So when I write, she writes amazing. She's an amazing writer. I am an amazing storyteller. I don't do the whole show don't tell thing because I suck at it. So I just pretty much write exactly what's going on. So it works out great for scripts because I literally showed what's going on. So for me, all I have to do is organize what we wrote. I put all the dialogue in order. And the thing that makes our story a little bit different is when you're reading it, 2 different people wrote one of the characters. So I wrote Serafina, all her personalities, her dialogue, her thoughts, her actions. It's all me. And Jessica wrote all of Draven's, all his thoughts and everything. So you have 2 completely different people writing these. So when you're reading it, that's them. but I have to organize these, and pretty much that's it. I mean, I could do a script depending on the book. I could do a script within 2 to 3 days if I'm not being lazy. I think I'm right now up to script. I just started script 16. It is my favorite. I shouldn't have favorites, but it's my favorite book. Book 3 is Resident Evil 2, pretty much in a nutshell. They're trapped in a city, and you can tell it's my favorite because book 1 is 7 issues, book 2 is 7 issues, and book 3 is like 12. So, and Anubis is in it now, and it was so fun to write him in because I wrote he walks through he walks through the portal, and he's surrounded by a horde of zombies. And my first reaction was to kill them with the staff. And then I was like, wait a minute, this is Anubis. He literally controls the dead. So he just lifts the staff and they just part like the Red Sea. And now that's going to be my cover because that's like all I picture now.
Yeah.
So either that or them bowing at him. I'm not sure what my cover is going to be yet. But yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun with that. But yeah, but I could tell that it's a lot harder for me because I added 2 main characters in book 3 right away. Like the first page of issue 2, I think, has the new characters in it. So I did not inform my artist that there's going to be 2 more characters, mostly to keep Draven jealous because it's more fun, and because they're kind of like Leon and Claire, because that's how I originally saw them. But it goes away from being Leon because Leon was my favorite character of all time, and I kind of destroy this guy all the time. Like he gets punched and beat up and kind of a jerk. So he's not Leon anymore. But I still love the characters, and it's fun to have someone to have them banter on, because Draven would never yell at Serafina, but he's got to yell at somebody. So, so that was fun, but it's a lot harder for a script because now I have 4 people to write for. And usually 10,000 words is per issue. I'm on page 10 and I've only used 1,000 words. So yeah. I don't know if they're going to really end where I separated all these issues from. We'll have to see. But there's a cliffhanger every 4 seconds, so I'm not really worried about where it's going to end. So people are going to kill me during that whole freaking book. Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things I wanted to ask you. You said you added Anubis at the last 2 issues ago, right?
Yeah. Book 2, he was added. There was a character there, but it wasn't him. So yes. I added him in. I don't think he's really in book 3 that much, but book 4, 5, he's not in 6, but he's in 7 a lot, and then he's in like 8 through whatever. And yeah, he's pretty much in every issue. There's a skip once in a while, but he's going to be in it more and more. In book 3 is a lot more because he's going to be stalking them, and he's kind of taking the role of Mr. X and Nemesis,
right?
And then later on, he's in the island on book 4 and 5. He's in it more, and he goes to hell with them and everything. So yeah, he's in it a lot more. So it is a little bit more unique to add in this character. And he doesn't talk. So I haven't decided if that makes it easier or harder. So we'll see.
Well, that's one of the things. When you say book, you mean set of issues?
Yeah. So yeah, book 1 and 2 are 7. Book 3 is 12, if I can get it into 12. And then book 4, it's going to be long. Probably about 10 issues. And then I noticed, I went to look through book 5 because it's been a while, and it's 133,000 words. So, nice. But a lot happens. I mean, they go to hell, and they meet up with the other characters again, and yeah. So this it's a lot.
Now, was it hard to adjust the script to incorporate the new character into it, or?
For book 1 and 2, no. But book 3, I feel like it's going to be more challenging but more fun. Because I didn't even have a character for those roles. He's totally took on a new role. Whereas book 2, issue 2, he was in it, another character, and actually added him in more too. That other character was only in it for like 2 pages, so he was added in more. But he had like minor roles in book 1 and book 2, cool roles, but they're more minor. But in book 3, I mean, it's gonna be kind of cool because in the background he needs to keep Serafina alive because they need her to activate the weapon. So he's gonna be in the background saving her life most of the time, and she's not even gonna know. He's gonna you're gonna see her doing something, and like an axe is gonna come down and kill something in the way or something, and I'm excited to do that. And then just to have him around. And then in book 4, he's actually a very active, character in it. So that'll be a challenge, I think, to have him added in there. Him and Croc are both added in, because I added Croc in. That's the Hellhound, and he was added in too because we added him into the spinoff. She found him in hell, and he licked her hand, and she's like, "Are you tasting me or wanting to be pet?" And so that kind of became her pet. But we're like, "Oh, let's add him to Redemption." So I added him in, and now he's like a big part of it because they use him as a leverage, to get him Anubis to do what they want. And Croc came with this personality that I didn't expect, and I don't know why they're playing fetch, but it was just something that happened, and everyone loves it. I just thought it was cute. Like I had nothing for Anubis to do in the background, and then just to have the Hellhound come up, hand him a stick, and Anubis is like, "I don't need this," and throws it, and then brings it back, and he's like, "Okay." So I really love the scene, and it gives personality to Anubis that people didn't really get to see before, and it starts to make him more aware of what's going on. And in book 2, he actually tries to kidnap Seraphina away from Draven, and away from both the fathers. Of course, poor Seraphina doesn't know that, so she's trying to kill him. But he's trying to help her, whereas he gets punished for it by the Remnel, the angel with the remote. But yeah, he does have personality, and he does have a brain. He's not stupid. He comes off as stupid, but he's not. And like I said, later in the series, it's everyone goes to war. So series 2 is mostly a war, and it's going to be Seraphina, Draven, the other main characters, one of the angels, Anubis with his army of mummies, and Hades and Hecate and their army of zombies, which my characters did not do well with because they've been killing zombies this whole time. And it's a little bit of a conflict of interest there. But it's them against the angels and demon at war. So it's not written yet, but we've started it, and it's very, very interesting to see. And it's probably going to be 5 books too, and each cover is going to be one set of them, their army. So it's going to have if you put it together, it's just going to be one long cover. Which I'm excited for because I've never done that. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I know when I do it, because that's what I'm doing here is just writing.
Is that a script?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even answer your question. My script is bare minimal. They walk in, they do this, and this is what they say, and then my artist turns into gold. So to put it lightly, I do the bare minimum. I do whatever needs to be in that room, which is a huge learning point because while I'm writing it in a novel form, I'm like, oh, there's a knife on the table. But if I'm doing scripts, I'd be like, 5 pages ago, they walked in the room and there was a table and I didn't put a knife. So that is a learning curve for most definitely, and converting them. And the hardest part about converting them, I have to say, is dialogue. The first time I wrote my script 1, my letterer was like, "Did you want to see any of the art?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I do." So I wound up, my very first script wound up being completely 2 scripts. So I did 2 issues at once, so that everyone could see the lovely art. So that was a huge learning curve, and it still is, because I'm still, converting what's important, what's not important. My characters never shut up like me, so it's not easy.
There's a lot of different ways to do them. You have let's see. You've already funded this one. How long until you bring the next one?
June 20th is my next launch. August 13th is the launch after that, and October 3rd is the launch after that, which is issue 7 and book 1 altogether. So it's going to be a 236-page graphic novel, and I can't wait for that. So that's going to be October 3rd through Halloween, because Halloween not only marks 1 year in comics, it also marks 1 year with my artist and 3 years with my co-writer. So it'll be a huge, hopefully fun campaign to do.
Should be. And again, if you ever want to come back on and do these things again, you just let me know. You know where we're at.
Always.
All right, but we are hitting about that time. And so if there's anything final you want to share, spread out, say what you got to do, and then...
Me?
Yep.
All I want to say is you can find us on anywhere, Worthy Chaos. If you go on Kickstarter and search Worthy Chaos, we're the only thing that pops up. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. You could add me as Corissa Grant, or there's a Worthy Chaos page too. And anybody that's new and wants to work on their own indie comics, I have people come up to me. What I mean is message. They come message me and say, can you help me? And yes, I can help anyone. Remember, 6 months, I just don't know what I'm doing, but I will help anyone do anything when they message me. And I have helped a few, and I will help anyone set up the Kickstarter page and anything like that. And the other thing I'm going to say about my story is that it is never boring. It never slows down, and it's very chaotic. So
worthy of the name, right?
Yes, definitely. I picked a good name for that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it's time to get back to work, and I will have to catch you next time, because I'll probably message you in like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we'll talk.
Yeah.
Great.
So, but as far as formally here,
well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
That's no problem. It was fun.
Great.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.